Alcohol and drug abuse is a serious problem in the United States and around the globe, with more than 3.3 million deaths being attributable to harmful abuse of these substances.
One of the things as a clinician that I look at from a mental health standpoint is how much is it impacting their life? Are they having trouble responding to work responsibilities? Are they having legal issues, DUIs? Are they having relationship issues with their family? In the more areas of impact you see, the stronger the likelihood that it's full-blown addiction. The other thing from a typical 12-step standpoint that we look at is the lack of control. One of the easiest ways, say for drinking, is the concept that once a person drinks one drink, they don't have a choice whether they're going to drink 1 or 20. They're going to drink until something bad happens. One of the other ways is when somebody's willing to engage in very risky, illegal, dangerous behaviors to obtain drugs. And that's one of the ways that we look at addiction, where a person has lost self-control.
Research in the science of addiction and the treatment of substance use disorders has led to the development of evidence-based interventions that help people stop abusing drugs and resume productive lives.
Addiction as a disease is a brain disorder, specifically in the limbic system. And when somebody who is prone to addiction finds their drug of choice, their brain lights up, whereas in people who are not addicted will not have that same effect. A big part of my job is providing individual therapy, and through that what I have found is the most effective intervention style is cognitive behavioral therapy, which at the most basic level is if we can change their thoughts, which is their cognitions, and empower them with more adaptive behavioral responses to life, then they have a better chance of success. When people come to treatment, and why treatment is so important, is that the addict is very vulnerable, and for the first time they're introduced to themselves sober, and they get to know themselves sober. And it's so important that they have a supportive environment during that vulnerable time.
Just Believe Recovery focuses on a 12-step and abstinence-based approach and believes that with help, a person can live a life free from drugs and alcohol.
This disease takes time to be able to be treated, to be able to feel comfortable in your own skin without drugs and alcohol in your system, and then to learn to live a new way of life and actually be reintroduced to who you were prior to using of any of these chemicals. We have a great therapeutic community, both here in Pennsylvania and in Florida. Our staff, from the cleaning crew all the way up into the head therapist in our company, all have compassion for our clients. This isn't just a business. You have to have passion for what we do here. And if you don't have passion, you're missing a big part of what it takes to help people change their lives around.
Just Believe concentrates on the core emotional issues and long-term behavior patterns that influence addiction.
Over the years, people have traumas, they have life experiences, and they learn coping skills that aren't really healthy. Consequently, when they start using drugs or alcohol, some people become addicted. That becomes another coping skill for them. It's an unhealthy coping skill, obviously. Young people especially, they look at life in the future and they can't even imagine having fun without alcohol. One of the things we do at Just Believe, for example, is we'll take them fishing. We'll take them bowling. And I've heard over the years is I've never gone fishing without a beer in my hand. It's a new experience. So it's all a different way of learning to live life.
The program utilizes small client-to-staff ratios to allow for individualized treatment and addresses trauma issues consistently throughout the client's treatment.
One of the things that has separated Just Believe apart from other rehabs from the beginning has been a dedication to very low client-to-staff ratios. And in that small group that they do individual sessions with, they do between 8 to 9 hours of small group with just the people that they're responsible for. And that allows for a lot of individualized treatment. The other thing that allows us to do is we have a really strong mental health approach here, where we look at the core issues of a person, from their childhood to trauma. In a small number of clients per each staff member allows our staff to have the time to spend with that person.
Before I found Just Believe, my life was unmanageable. I was at wit's ends. I was using every day. I had nowhere to go. My only mean was to use. The only way that I found happiness was to use my drug of choice. Just Believe wanted me to be grounded. You know, they offered me a safe place. They offered me a place where I could recover. After my residential treatment in Florida, they gave me a transition housing. I was there for 6 months. At the transition housing, because of my surroundings, I was only involved with people in recovery. And because of that, I was able to put that aside, and that became second nature. Recovery became second nature. My friends were in recovery, my neighbors were in recovery, my sponsor obviously was in recovery. Everything I did revolved around recovery, and because of Just Believe, they offered me that home, you know, that recovery base.
All staff demonstrates concern and compassion while working with clients in a direct, respectful, and honest manner, and provides a therapeutic community where a safe and serene environment creates an atmosphere conducive to recovery and change.
The JVRC facility is excellently located. We're close to the beach, beautiful downtown Jensen Beach. We have a wonderful staff, well educated, very warm, very caring. We work well together. We're in partnership with our clients, which makes it excellent. We provide just about everything that they will need to help facilitate healthy recovery. They have massage, they have yoga, meditation. But what we let the client know is that you won't leave here without knowing that every person here is vested in you and what you can do.
Drug and alcohol rehab statistics show that the percentage of people who will relapse after a period recovery ranges from 50 to 90%. However, people who are serious about aftercare greatly increase their chances of success. To help clients moving forward in their new recovery, they also offer an alumni program to stay in touch after treatment.
Just Believe's alumni program is like a fabulous tool in the people's recovery to be able to continue outside of their treatment. One addict helping another is without parallel. You know, when you understand a person to that depth of what they went through to be able to come out the other side and start to become the person they were meant to be, it's not just the absence of drugs and alcohol that we do here. It's recovering the person that you were meant to be prior to the drugs and alcohol.
Just Believe focuses on all aspects of a person in order to see the change.
We've had about half of our staff trained in EMDR, and that's a specific trauma-based approach because this has been a trend coming from Washington, D.C. for a number of years now. And what we've found in studies is people that go with up to 8 or 9 indicators on trauma, going without food, say clothing, domestic violence, there's an ACE score it's called, they are 4,600% more likely to be injection heroin users than the average population. Trauma matters, and it's something that we've made an emphasis here and will continue to do in our time.
For more information, visit www.justbelieverecovery.com.